Hey there.
Hello.
My name's Taryn.
And I'm Tate.
Welcome back to Plant That Says Podcast. Welcome back, friends.
Welcome back. How is life?
How is life? How are you, Tate?
How's life treating ya?
How's it treating you down there?
What is pronunciation? Oh, life's treating me good. Got my vaccines.
Oh, hey, both of them?
I was only sick. Yeah, I got both of them. Got a little sick,
Nice.
but it's okay. We triumph. We're good now.
Are you a
Feels
Pfizer
good.
queen?
I'm a Pfizer queen.
Yes, me too, even though I've only gotten the first shot.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Were
you
there.
sick after?
Well, I've been having some neck muscle issues, so it made my body
yeah.
really sore. But I don't think I had a fever or anything, you know?
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the second one, but I'm very much looking forward to the second one, you know?
Yes, I know what you mean. Just getting it over with, and yeah, just doing what you're supposed to do.
Do you feel ready to move on in life? Like you're ready to...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready for, more people to be vaccinated and for things to just kind of, hopefully, we'll see, but hopefully go back to whatever the new normal is going to be.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's got to be at least a sense of relief, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, it feels nice knowing, like, if I go to the fucking store or if I have to go somewhere, like, I'm not going to get COVID from someone who doesn't believe in vaccines or whatever.
Exactly.
So that feels kind of nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I feel like we're very lucky to have the option to get a vaccine, so it kind of bothers me when people are like, just don't do it. Whatever. That's a whole other conversation. How are your plants doing?
Oh my gosh, my plants are not doing great because I've not been doing great, so I need to put in some real TLC soon, but I'm going to. So it's going to be fine. How are your plants?
My plants are looking good. We've been getting a lot of rain. So some of my plants that I moved outside, like my desert rose, my cactus, those are, I'm a little worried about them because of all the rain we've been getting. But other than that, they look okay. Everything's looking good. No complaints.
Good.
No complaints. But I have a lot less picky plants. Like my plants are not as picky as yours. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, guys, we are talking about plants and pets. Do they mix? They probably shouldn't.
Yep.
And what does that look like and why?
You know how there are just certain things that we can't eat, right? They're just not good for you. They can poison you, make you sick.
They just don't agree with you.
Exactly. Same thing for our pets, right? Whether it's a cat or a dog or, I don't know, bird, rabbit, whatever pet you have, there are just certain things that will not agree with their body, that will make them sick, or could potentially be even more dangerous. So we're going to kind of talk about that today.
In general, it's probably best practice to keep your pets away from any of your houseplants just to be safe. Not all pets, obviously, even within the same breed, like not all dogs are going to react the same to whatever it is that you have. And so it's just really important that as a pet owner, you keep watch of your pet's behavior and make sure that they're not, ingesting anything. I'm sure, especially if you have dogs, also cats, they eat other things besides your houseplants that could be worse. But definitely would be best practice to keep your pets away from your plants as much as possible.
Right. Like it's kind of up to you as a pet owner just to make sure that they're not, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand. They see something and they're like, let me eat that. I have 2 cats. And they eat crap all the time that I know is not good for them. But they're like, they see a piece of plastic on the floor. They're like, let me just eat this for some reason. So yeah, it's just, in general, we just wanted to give that disclaimer out there. And another disclaimer as well. So a lot of what we're going to talk about today about the plants, maybe to avoid or to at least have your pets avoid eating. There's not like a whole lot of scientific evidence about a lot of this, and that doesn't necessarily mean that these plants or that any of this information isn't true. It just means that there hasn't really been studies necessarily done on this before. So I could find a little bit in some veterinary journals and stuff, but, just take it with a grain of salt that what we're talking about today comes from people's experiences and not necessarily from rigorous hypothesis testing or from scientific journals. just wanted to throw that out there.
Y'all should have seen it. Tate was trying to cancel this episode before we started because she was like, the science isn't there. But
I was
obviously,
like, I don't want to spread misinformation.
Yes. So to be clear, these are, all pulled from resources we found online. One of the websites I looked at was the ASPCA website that talked more obviously about specifically for pets, which are the big, the big no-nos and the big, yes, you're fine. But I also looked at a lot of different plant shops and other random articles to gather some of this information. So it's not something that we made up.
Right.
But there's definitely not a ton of science to back it up. So plants that you should probably avoid and keep away from your pets. Two right off the bat that I think are pretty highly toxic: sago palms and aloe vera, surprisingly. I was really shocked when I learned that aloe vera is poisonous because obviously as humans, we see it as healing in a lot of ways.
Right.
So, I don't know. That surprised me. So, those two are for sure not good for ingestion for any of your pets, so keep those away.
And I have another one.
Go ahead, Tate.
I was just going to say another one that I did find in some veterinary journals that were hella toxic, especially to cats, are like true lilies. So these are different than like peace lilies, right? But true lilies are like, day lilies, lilies that have big flowers with those big structures like the anthers?
Stamen?
Whatever those, stem, all those things. I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't know my flower biology.
Yeah, I don't know where I just pulled that deep out of my soul from. But.
But those are really toxic to cats, and not only the flowers, but the leaves and everything. So if you do have lilies, make really sure that your cats do not eat them. And your dogs too, honestly.
Some other plants that I've found to be pretty toxic, pretty clearly suggested not to have near your pets are pothos, which again can be only a little surprising just because they're so common. Begonias, elephant ears, both really caladium and alocasias. The Dracaena, I'm sure this isn't the right family, genus, I don't know. But anything that falls under the Dracaena category, which is like your dragon tree, or also I know we haven't really gone into this on this podcast, but Sansevieria doesn't really apply to snake plants anymore. They really are in the Dracaena family, so snake plants fall under that category. Chinese evergreens and Dieffenbachia fall under the same kind of category as pretty toxic. And then some others that on some lists I found said that they were only slightly toxic, but again, definitely not great for your pets. Philodendron, Monstera, birds of paradise, your classic fiddly fig, ZZ plants, and snake plants that I just already mentioned, Scheffleras, which are your umbrella tree. Schefflera.
I like that. Schefflera.
Peace lily, Tradescantia, and rubber tree. Those are all the ones that I could find that were suggested to not have anywhere near your plants. Oops, nope. Anywhere near your pets, because those are plants, and they can be by other plants. They're not toxic to any other plants. I will also say there's of course way more plants than we just mentioned that are probably toxic, but those are the more common ones that are familiar to us. So we've got some pretty essential plants in that list, I feel like. But it's all a game.
Like pothos and begonias.
Right.
I have a lot of those.
Yes, I definitely have a lot of those. And it's funny because a lot of those, for example, like a rubber tree or a peace lily, like those are some of my floor plants too. So a little dicey. I do have small dogs. They can't get up that high, but...
Yeah, it's also good to keep in mind that, if your plants do, or I'm sorry, if your plants, I just did it too. If your pets do, eat these, they may not necessarily, die, but they could get sick. And so you don't really want to, have your pets get sick. That could look like, throwing up, bad accidents that you may not want to clean necessarily.
Ugh. Yes.
Stuff like that. But it will vary from pet to pet.
And if you look up, say, for example, your dog munches on your Tradescantia. So Google it. Obviously, I'm sure everybody already does that. Kind of look up what the symptoms could potentially be so you know what kind of to look for, because odds are they're going to be okay for a minute if you catch them eating it. So it's helpful to know what for, specifically the plant your pet ate what the symptoms could look like so that you can be really aware. And then the very next step that I would suggest is call your vet and just check up on what their recommendation would be.
Yes, for sure. Like if you're ever in doubt and you're extremely worried, definitely go to the vet because they will know far more information about this kind of thing than Tara and I do. So
yeah, we're not qualified to give you any veterinary advice. And they may have stuff too that would be preventative. So let's say your pet ate something, they're still okay for now, but I would still suggest calling your vet and they might say, okay, give them a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't know. They may tell you to bring them in.
Or they may say it's fine.
Yeah, or they may
Who
be
knows?
like,
you
know, if they don't have any symptoms, they might be just fine. So those are the steps that if I were you, I would take in the moment my dogs decide to eat something, which they have before. So some alternative plants, flip it to the positive, bringing it back down to the positive. Some plants that are usually no problem for pets include spider plants. Y'all know
Classic.
how we love a good spider plant.
We love a good spider plant.
Pretty much anything in the Calathea family, so like a rattlesnake Calathea, in general, prayer plant, the orbifolia, all of those are pretty green light. A lot of palms, again, not all palms. For example, the sago palm, like I mentioned before, is bad. So definitely not all palms, but parlor palm, ponytail palm, areca palm, lady palm, cat palm, all of those are good.
So my cat could eat a cat palm.
Oh, cute.
If it wanted to.
Air plants are good. Succulents, again, not all succulents, but some succulents, which could include Haworthia, Echeveria, burro's tail. Next category, ferns, which I don't know why I was surprised by that, but ferns are usually okay. Bird's nest ferns, Boston ferns, staghorn ferns, lemon button ferns, and maidenhair ferns are all usually okay.
Nice.
Peperomias, watermelon peperomia variegata, or obtusifolia. Most peperomias, I think, are pretty good. Some things in the Pilea family. So the shout out to Plant Daddy Podcast, as they like to say, the PP plant, because it's
the PP plant.
Yes, because it's really long. The Pilea peperomioides. That guy, the UFO plant that has the round.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The Pilea glauca, which is sometimes called baby tears. I killed that one of mine, and I'm forever sad about it. I'm going to get a new one day.
You had baby tears?
Yes, I had baby tears, and I killed them. African violets, orchids, bromeliads, Swedish ivy, Hoya. A lot of Hoya are okay. Money trees are okay, and then cast iron plants are okay. So all of those plants, you should be in the green. Again, be aware, be careful. Even if your pet eats one of those, make sure they're okay. But from what I
keep watch of them.
What I understood, those are all Gucci. Okay, Tate, you already mentioned to us that you have 2 cats. So tell us their story and your cat mom's story.
Okay, so long story short, we adopted these cats about 5 years ago now.
Dang, are you serious?
Wait, 2017. In 2017, I'm bad at math.
18, 19, 20, 20. 4 years ago.
4 years ago, wow. 4 years ago. I was like, 5 years? No, they're not that old. So we got them as kittens. They are great. They're brothers. So I have a kind of medium, fluffy hair cat named Warwick and a normal short-haired cat named Sterling.
They're brothers. It's the cutest thing.
They're very cute. They love each other. They cuddle. They wrestle. They're very sweet cats. I love them. They're tabbies, so they have some stripes on them. They're very cute.
They scream at each other across the house.
Yes. They have separation anxiety, so... well, one of them does. Sterling, the short-hair one, has separation anxiety, so if he can't find his brother, he just howls and howls for him. It's pretty cute, kind of annoying sometimes. Love him to death. But I've been kind of lucky in that they don't really like to eat my plants. They never have ever expressed a lot of interest in eating them. So that's been lucky. I will catch Sterling sometimes, like, gnawing on one, and I'll just have to be like, hey, stop, and he'll stop. He never really tries to, like, eat them further than that. However, they do like to knock my plants over, as cats do. As cats do. Whatever in their little cat brain that just likes to knock things over. I've had lots of plants knocked over. I've had a lot of spider plant cuttings, or not cuttings, the little babies that they produce. I'll have those in water, rooting. And Sterling loves to just pick them up and take them all around the house. I'll find them in random places. He just likes to, he doesn't even eat them. He just likes to carry them around. And luckily I know now that, they're, even if he does eat them, he won't get too sick from it.
He likes it.
He does like it. I don't know why. I guess because it looks like a spider, maybe?
That's so weird.
And it's funny because it's none of my other cuttings or none of my other plants in water. It's always a spider plant. Always. Always, always, always. So, yeah, luckily, my experience with my cats has been pretty good. They don't really like to eat plants. I think as cats, they're, I don't know, it just varies from cat to cat. I have a friend who her cat loves to eat plants and constantly messes with plants, so she can't have any because he'll knock them over, he'll eat them, whatever. So I kind of feel like I lucked out. But yeah, so they're pretty good. They're pretty good boys.
I feel like a good solution maybe for cat owners is get you some hanging plants, get your macrame life on, and hang them from the ceiling or from the wall where they can't get to them.
Yeah, if you do have a cat that is really into plants, you have to be very careful because even if you have them high up, cats do like to jump. They like to be high up. That's just in their nature. So they will try to find a way to mess with them if they really want them. So my advice to you would just be to have plants that are cat safe and cat proof. And hopefully you don't mind cleaning up dirt and soil that they spill everywhere. And yeah, like Taryn said, have them hanging up. If they're hanging, if they can't jump on them and land on anything, I don't think they'd go for them. But again, this varies from cat to cat, so you just kind of have to see what your cat likes and doesn't like and what it will and won't do in regards to your plants.
Right. What's attractive to your cat.
Exactly. I know Taryn does not have any cats, but she does have 2 dogs. So tell us your experience with your dogs. Give us your story.
Okay, yes, I have 2 dogs. One of them was really, honestly, almost more of our family dog for a while growing up.
Yes.
Got her in 7th grade. Her name's Schnitzel. She's a...
We love Schnitzel.
She's just been around for so long. She's 14. She's an
girl.
old lady. She has 17 teeth left in her mouth.
Poor babe. What kind of dog?
She's a Chihuahua miniature pinscher mix, we think. Both of our dogs we got from...
Brown nose.
Yeah, she's a little brown. Well, she's a lot of white now. She's getting a little elderly, and it's very cute. Oh. But we've had her forever, and she's quite the sturdy dog in general. I feel like she's been through a lot of things, As they get older, they get sick a lot.
Yes.
She's had some pretty violent, sick moments, but she's more likely than my other dog to eat plants. So my other dog is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. So she's a Chiweenie.
She's
a
long.
Long girl.
Long girl.
She's a long wiener. And her name is Stella Luna. Like the book, if anyone read that book growing up, the Bat book, Stella Luna.
Yeah, she has big ears. She kind of looks like a cute little bat.
Yes, she's so cute. And she's not as hungry, I'll say, as Schnitzel. Schnitzel in the backyard all the time. She's munching on grass, all the time.
Yeah. And I know some dogs do that. And dogs are a little omnivorous. They can eat certain plants. Mm-hmm. I mean, sorry, not plants, but vegetables.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
I wouldn't say they really mess with my plants a whole lot. I will admit I have a lot of my plants in the front room of my house, which is also where their crate is. They're in their crate most of the time. We don't really leave them out in that room that often, but sometimes. But they really don't mess with my plants a whole lot. Again, Schnitzel will eat a lot of grass outside, and there are definitely moments where I will walk around a corner and she's kind of starting to gnaw on one. I have a parlor palm on the floor, and she's definitely tried to eat that before. I'm like, okay, ma'am, excuse me.
It's always funny when you catch them in the act, especially Schnitzel, since she's kind of deaf at this point. She probably doesn't know you're looking at her eating your plants.
You can sneak up on her pretty easily. And it's like that gnawing, they're like going ham.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I will say I don't have a ton of issues with them wanting to nibble on my plants, but same kind of thing. They're not interested in them and knocking them over on purpose. However, they love to see what's happening outside and will jump up on the windowsill and knock off. I've cleaned up so much broken glass of having cuttings up there and then them knocking them off. So
just have